Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Thursday, April the 25th. We got a short MLB slate for Thursday, just 5 games. I'm still going to go through the pitcher-player pool, though, talk about some of the pitchers that I like on this 5-game slate. Then we will look at 3 batters I'm targeting. We'll go over some of the stacks I'll be looking at, and then at the end of the video, we will cover some BVP plays for those of you that are interested in BVP. Before we do get started, though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But starting off at pitcher today, we got Gerrit Cole as the most expensive option, $10,200 in a matchup against Cleveland. Cole and Bauer are going to be facing off against each other. Definitely a good pitcher matchup. I would say the matchups individually for each team's not that great. The Indians are starting to get healthy again, so this is not the best spot for Gerrit Cole. The Indians still don't have some of their better hitters that they had last year, like Encarnacion, who's no longer on the team, but they do have Lindor back now. Jose Ramirez is starting to hit the ball well. This isn't like a cupcake matchup for Gerrit Cole, and when we look at pricing on DraftKings, he's 1,100 more than Aaron Nola, who I really want to go to today at home against the Marlins. It's hard for me to avoid Aaron Nola, even though he's been pretty bad this year. This matchup, plus when you factor in his price tag, if I'm going to be paying up for a pitcher today, it's going to be Aaron Nola. He just stands out so much above the rest. On DraftKings, especially on Yahoo, I would say the pricing's a little bit different. Cole's 54, Nola's 52, Bauer's 52, Tanaka's all the way down there at 42. You could argue that Tanaka's probably the best play when you factor in salary on Yahoo. But I still like Nola on Yahoo as well. I like him on both sides. This is finally a great matchup for Nola. He's had some kind of tough matchups this year. If we look at the game log, he's faced the Rockies in Coors Field in his last start, where he was actually pretty decent. 9 Ks through 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 22 DK points. He faced the Mets, a Mets team that's not as bad as they used to be. They do have a lot of good hitters in that lineup, surprisingly. He had to face the Nationals twice. He had to face a Braves team that doesn't really strike out. Now Nola gets to face this pretty bad Marlins team at home. It's just such a good spot for Aaron Nola. A low 3.1 implied run total for the Marlins. Hard for me to avoid Nola on the slate, especially on DraftKings when you look at the pricing. He's so much cheaper than all these other guys. I do like Trevor Bauer at 9,800 against Houston. Even though it's a really good Astros lineup, Trevor Bauer is just such a good pitcher. It will be interesting to see what the lines are for this game when it comes out. Right now, as I'm recording this video, on Wednesday night, we don't have any totals for this game. I would imagine you're probably going to see some low totals from both sides. I think playing both pitchers in this game does make some sense, even though the matchups aren't great for each pitcher. Both of these guys, Cole and Bauer, are just so talented that I could see them having success. But I still can't play them over a guy like Aaron Nola, who's cheaper than all of them. In cash games, I think you play Nola today. In tournaments, you can make an argument to pivot to a guy like Bauer or Cole or Tanaka, or maybe even play 2 of them together if you don't really want to pay it for bats. But there is a cheap SB2 that I like to pair with Nola that allows me to pay it for bats, and that's Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith's all the way down here at $7,300 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo he's at $37. I really like Caleb Smith here. I like playing both pitchers in this game. Caleb Smith has actually been pretty good this year. If we pull up the game log, he's been really good, and he has faced this Phillies team already once this year and went 6 innings with 6 Ks, 3 walks, and 1 hit, 0 runs allowed to the Phillies when he faced them last time, 27 DraftKings points. He did face them in Marlins Park, which obviously is a great pitcher's park. In Philly, in Citizens Bank, that's not as good of a pitcher's park. But Caleb Smith is still a guy that does have a lot of talent, and 7,300 is too cheap for a price tag for him for the kind of talent that he has. This Phillies lineup is pretty good, but they are missing some key bats. No Gene Segura, no Scott Kingery. When you get past the 5-hitter, Maikel Franco, it gets pretty easy for Caleb Smith with Roman Quinn, who will strike out. Philip Gosselin, not the best hitter. He will definitely K. Cesar Hernandez, not as good when you face him versus a lefty. He's not as good batting right-handed. And then you have the pitcher in there. So if Caleb Smith can get through McCutchen, Realmuto, Harper, Hoskins, and Franco, it gets pretty easy for him when you get to the 6 through 9 for this lineup. So I do like Caleb Smith quite a bit, especially on DraftKings when you factor in his price tag of $7,300. He pairs very nicely with Aaron Nola. You're still left with $4,200 remaining per player for your bats when you go with these 2 pitchers. And I think this is a slate where we're going to want to try and fit in some expensive bats. The Red Sox look really good today versus Jordan Zimmerman in Fenway Park. They have a 5.6 implied run total. I feel like we're going to want to target some Red Sox bats. So that's why I like going cheap with a guy like Caleb Smith. But obviously, besides these two pitchers, Nola and Smith, there's other guys you could look to. If we're going a little bit, or if we're looking for a cheap SP2, I wouldn't mind Trevor Cahill today at 7,500, especially when you look at this Yankees lineup that he's going to be facing. It's a watered-down Yankees lineup. It's not a good lineup at all, especially when you get past like Gleyber Torres. Frazier's been good this year, but Tauchman, Michael Ford, Tyler Wade, not that great of hitters. Even a guy like DJ LeMahieu, Brett Gardner, aren't like these great hitters. Really, the only guys you're scared of are probably Voit, Sanchez, and Torres. Maybe Frazier if he's in the lineup, but he's been out the last few days. He was out on Wednesday. There's a chance Clint Frazier doesn't play again today. So I like this spot for Trevor Cahill. As a pivot off of Caleb Smith, I imagine Smith will be higher owned than Trevor Cahill. You could look to a guy like Cahill. Just a 4.2 implied run total for the Yankees. So Cahill makes some sense. I don't want to go to Rick Porcello even against the Tigers. I just don't think he's good right now. He's just not looked good. I would rather play Smith. I would rather play Cahill. Marco Gonzalez at 8,400 is just too closely priced to Aaron Nola for me to want to play him. So I think your plays today are probably Nola, Cole, Bauer if you're paying up. Then for cheap, I like Cahill and Smith. Those are the two guys I would look to for cheap. But let's go ahead and talk about some bats. So I do want to start off with these Red Sox bats. Some of them are pretty cheap when you factor in what their salaries normally are. Mookie Betts is only 4,700 on DraftKings. I really like him today. I like him on Yahoo as well. Even though his price tag's a bit up there, still think he's worth it on Yahoo at $22. Mookie's just too good of a hitter, especially when you factor in his DraftKings price to be this cheap. And now he gets to face Jordan Zimmerman, who I still don't think is a very good pitcher, even though Zimmerman has had some good starts this year. This is a guy that I'm going to always stack against, especially with the lineup like the Red Sox, a lineup that's just so deep, has so much talent. Dangerous spot for Jordan Zimmerman. High implied run total for the Red Sox here. I want to stack them up as much as I can, so I really like Mookie Betts at 4,700. Andrew Benintendi on DraftKings at 4,500, leading off, looks like a really good play as well to go along with your Red Sox stack. I definitely like him. On Yahoo, it's a bit tougher to play these guys because they are kind of priced up. Like Mookie's 22, JD's 25, Benintendi's 20. It's kind of hard to stack the Red Sox. If we go over to shortstop, though, on Yahoo, you do have Bogarts down here at 18. That makes a lot more sense for me. I do like Bogarts quite a bit when you factor in his price tag from the other Red Sox bats on Yahoo. I do like him quite a bit. And then going back to DraftKings, going over to first base, another team I'm going to be looking to for my bats today are the Mariners. I do like the Mariners here. Whether it's Adrian Sampson or Fantasy Labs has Taylor Hearn listed as a starter, a lefty. Whether it's Hearn or Sampson, whichever one pitches, I'm going to be stacking up against whichever one it is. If it's Hearn, if it's a lefty pitching, I think you want to target a lot of the righties from the Mariners. Santana, Encarnacion, Mitch Haniger. Those are the guys I really like. Tim Beckham, I think, is in play. Ryan Healy, you could look to. If it's Sampson, I think you can target lefties and righties versus Sampson if he's the one pitching. The Mariners do have the second highest implied run total right now at 4.8 runs. So they're going to stand out as a team we do want to stack. Encarnacion I like quite a bit, especially since his DraftKings price is a lot cheaper than some of the other guys like Haniger. He's really up there. His price is way up there on DK. He's up to 5,600, really expensive. Domingo Santana's 4,900. You get Encarnacion at a bit of a discount at 4,500. If we go over back to Yahoo, though, looking at pricing for some of these Mariners bats, I like the Red Sox. They are very expensive. Encarnacion is 21. Haniger's 25. Domingo Santana's 21. We're going to want to try and find some value on Yahoo. So at third base, Jose Ramirez, it's not a great matchup against Garrett Cole, but he really stands out on Yahoo where he's just $9. That's close to minimum price, which makes him one of the better value plays in my opinion. I know the matchup with Cole is not good, but Jose Ramirez is starting to heat up. He's starting to hit the ball well. This is one of the better hitters in the league, especially when he's hitting the ball like he should be. And I think we're going to see him start to, make more hard contact, just more line drives, hit the ball out of the park a lot more. Did homer on Wednesday, had a really big game on Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets on base a couple times here versus Garrett Cole. And to my knowledge, I believe Garrett Cole is pretty bad at holding runners. This is a guy that you can steal on, and Jose Ramirez, he will steal if he gets on base. So where he's just $9 on Yahoo, especially since we do want to try and fit in some of those Red Sox bats who are expensive. We're going to need some value. Jose Ramirez, third base, just $9 on Yahoo. I do like quite a bit today. But these are my 5 plays for DraftKings and 5 plays for Yahoo. Now quickly going over stacks today, teams we're going to be looking to stack. There's not a lot of stacks that I love. I don't think I'm going to be doing a ton of stacking on the slate because the 2 teams that really stand out to me stack-wise are probably the Red Sox and the Mariners. Obviously, those are the 2 teams we probably want to look to the most. But if we're going for like low-owned stacks, I think stacking up some Tigers bats versus Rick Porcello with how bad he's looked this year, and especially if people are going to roster Rick Porcello today because he's so cheap and because he's facing a bad Tigers team, some Tigers bats you could look to stack up. But with it being a slate like this where there's not a lot of good stacks, I probably won't be stacking too much. I'll just be playing like mini stacks or like just picking one-offs. But if you are stacking, the Red Sox make the most sense, and the Mariners, in my opinion, make the most sense as well. Other teams in that, though, I won't be probably going anywhere other than those 2 teams. Do like some Tigers bats. But that's it for stacks. Let's quickly go over some BVP now before we end the video. So we got about 6 BVP plays for the main slate. We'll go over them real quickly. Steve Pearce, doubt he's in the lineup today, but he's gone 4 for 12 with 2 home runs off of Jordan Zimmerman. Gordon Beckham, 15 for 32 with a home run off of Rick Porcello. George Springer, 3 for 12 off of Trevor Bauer. Yuli Gurriel, 4 for 11 with the home run off of Trevor Bauer. Josh Reddick, 2 for 10, 2 home runs off of Bauer. Andrelton Simmons, 4 for 12 with a home run off of Tanaka. And Joey Gallo, gone 4 for 10 with 2 home runs off of Marco Gonzalez. So those are all the BVP plays I got for today, guys. I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button down below. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And like always, if you've got questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Or you can leave any comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck tonight. Peace.